Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and it has been a minute. In fact, it's been 4 months. So, as of today, recording this video is November 30th, 2025. I think the last video I had was 4 months ago. That was uploaded to YouTube, BitChute. So what is that? November, October, September, August, July, something like that. So it's been a long time. A lot's happened in life since then. Went elk hunting. Managed to get my dad an elk this year, or I didn't get him an elk. I helped him get an elk, which was awesome. I was not able to fill my tag, so that was a little bit rough. But hey, it happens. But picked up a bunch of whiskey. Well, let's see. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 whiskeys that I picked up since August. I think these Green Rivers I picked up in Casper back in August when I took my dog for some snake training. And then I got this Russell's 10. This is that fancy laser code that came out in 2024, the LLME. And the 2024 one. That's the one that was reported to have some of the gosh, what was it? The Russells, or not the Russells? It had older whiskey in it. It had some of the leftover barrels or something from some of the higher age statement bottles and stuff. In fact, if I do decide to crack this open, I will get that background and story for you on that one. I got a couple of Wyoming whiskeys. I made some poor man's Pappy here because I managed to get my hands on a bottle of Weller 12, and the reason why this one is down so much is because I used it to make this, and this was a full bottle at one point. So that's been drank down. Yeah, so we just got a whole bunch of whiskey to get rolling through here. I'm not really sure how I want to go about this. I got high proof, I got low proof. Maybe we'll start with this Biv and Tucker double char bourbon. I got a bunch of things that I'm not real certain what all it is that I want to say about them. But I got some videos I want to make. First, I'm going to get through some of the tasting notes on these bottles, and then we will kind of venture into some thoughts that I had, because so coming into the end of 2025, we are watching whiskey prices start to come down, although I did, and this will not be in a review, a couple days ago, 5 days ago, I bought an E.H. Taylor small batch, normally, or still at the same place where I get my whiskey here locally for the better prices. But man, gosh, I think they were selling blends for $79, so that was a price hike. And this is the most expensive E.H. Taylor I bought from them. So it started at what, $35 or $38 a couple of years ago. Now they're at $46.99, and when I bought it, I think in January or February of 2025, I paid $43, so it went up by another $3. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, it's people are paying $130, $140 for that stuff. I I am seeing prices start to even out, come down a little bit, especially when I'm shopping online. But just kind of as a general whole, I think that like coming into Christmas here and whatnot, just the economy as a whole, like this is the last hurrah. Like everybody knows the jig is up, but people are still out there trying to, do the best they can. So even though people are not buying whiskey at the rate that they were, you are seeing whiskey sit on shelves now. The retailers haven't succumbed to the fact that people aren't willing to pay those prices for those bottles anymore. So hopefully in the next year or so, we're gonna see like allocated bottles and stuff come down in price to something more reasonable. I don't. I mean, people are always going to want certain things, but there's not going to be as many people. You're starting to see stuff sit around on shelves, especially at ridiculous prices. Like when you're looking at stags being, $300. Those are sitting around for sure. Um, Stuff like that. So hopefully that'll trickle into the rest of the market and things will start coming down. Now, you do have to consider the fact that inflation has been ridiculous for the last, I don't know, 5, 8 years, coupled with the fact that people were blowing money left and right on whiskey. And so the market was sustaining a higher price for a lot longer. So it's going to take a while for those prices to come down. And you're still going to have those retailers that are, convinced that it's worth a crazy amount of money. So you're gonna have to do a little bit of hunting to find stuff. And unfortunately, here in Wyoming, we're kind of limited on where we can go and what we can do. So, in fact, I bought this bottle. This is a private stock for the local liquor store here in town. The last one I bought was down in Casper, and I think I paid like $46 or something like that. Phenomenal bottle. They've all been really phenomenal bottles, and even that one I've tried is phenomenal. But I paid $59.99 for that. Now I bought that at a liquor store here in town that normally their prices are higher, but because I knew that those private stocks, if you ever see one, buy one because you will not be disappointed on them. Because I knew they were good, I was like, for that price, I'll buy it. And they also have the new national park. So this is the national park. This is number 4, I believe. Yeah, it says number 4. They have the number 5, which is Grand Teton, and so I'm going to buy that one from them, and that's like $63 or something like that. But only because I haven't seen it anywhere else in town. Maybe I'll give it a month or so. We'll see if that pops up anywhere else. But for now, it hasn't. So, anyways, that's kind of what's coming down the pipe. Plus, this is the time of year where everybody does their best of the year. They're, it's been several years, so now they're changing up their like goodbyes and best under whatever price videos and whatever else. So maybe we'll get into some of those later on in the next couple of weeks, just so we can get some content out there. Like I said before, been a long time, and yeah, I'm already 7 minutes into this, and we haven't done anything. So, all right, I bought this bottle of Bibb and Tucker. This is their double char bourbon. It's ringing in. Boy, my eyes are not so great anymore. What is that? It's ringing in at 88 proof or 44% ABV. So I bought this kind of on a whim, and we'll get into it. Let's see here. I gotta find this one on the list because, well, I got whiskey all over the place. So now we're gonna have a little bit of dead air while I look for this one. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out who distills it so that I can look. Sorry for this. Bibb and Tucker. There we go. Double check. Well, that's who is it? It's by the Deutsch family. The same people that do Redemption owns this brand. So this is a 6-year product, 6-year age-stated product. I bought this for $49.59. Thought that was a reasonable price to pay. I will say, love the bottle, love the look of this. I hate and absolutely despise this cork. It is so small, so hard to get your hands on, and it feels like you're gonna break the thing, which you probably are because it's kind of a soft, natural cork. And it's just, it's really dented. Look at that thing. It's just not that awesome of a cork. It needs to sit about like this. And you can put it up like that, but it came pressed in that far. So you kind of have to put it in that far anyways. But, all right, I can smell it. It smells wonderful. So here we go. We're going to dive into this. And it's been, like I said, it's been 4 months since I've done a whiskey review. So hopefully I remember how to do this. So on the nose, I got a light floral apple mixed with a dark plum, a little bit of a cherry in there, like a cherry candy almost, cherry Jolly Rancher. It smells dense and robust. Like it smells like it's going to be a viscous profile, like it's going to be oily and clingy. Looking in the glass, does seem a little bit oily and clingy. Smells very nice, vibrant. On the taste, kind of mellow up front, sweet, caramely, a little bit viscous, but there's a harsh, dry oak and kind of a little bit of barrel char that goes into the back end of that. And for a lower proof spirit, it's a little bit bitey on the back end as well. That ethanol really kind of picks up some of those bitter notes, that tannic note. You get that barrel char in there. Um, it's probably not an experience that too many of you have ever had. Looking for it. This Balcones Brimstone. Okay. Um, it kind of has this syrupy, thick clinginess to it. But it had like this tastes like charcoal briquette, but in a really good way. I'm a big fan of this. This Bibb and Tucker actually has a bit of that type of flavor on the back end. That is all to say that that is just a finishing note. It's pretty good, especially for a $50 bottle essentially. The nose smells so much denser and sweeter than what the flavor profile was. The flavor profile was kind of ho hum to start with. Like it was kind of creamy and oily in the mouthfeel, kind of velvety in the mouthfeel. But there wasn't really any flavor that kicked in for the first couple of beats. Then when it did kick in, it was a sweeter note and a sweeter profile for a short 1-2 beats, and then it quickly went into that bitter, bitey oak char. It's an interesting flavor profile in the way that it's put together, but um, especially at that price point, it's got just hit me. It's got a very nutty, peanut, dusty, uh, forward. Like I was getting my nose way in that glass to start with, and getting those um, sweet apple fruity flavors, cherry. But man, now going back to it, it is just all peanut dust for days. Going on a second sip too. We get that time I got the barrel char up front a little bit. That bitterness kind of wrapping around a sweet caramel and a confectioner sugar, but those notes are subdued compared to the bitterness, that tannicness. Like you're getting both the oak tannin and kind of the bitter, sooty, charry bit. Um, it's this is not a sugar daddy sweet whiskey. There's more bitter and oak and char notes in there than the average person's probably going to want. It's a nuanced complexity that kind of it rounds out the finish. So that's the note that you're going to be finished with. Left on your tongue even now is just this bitter oak. Um, but there are other kind of sweet bits in it. So like this is not something that you take a sip of, you go, that's interesting, and then you move on to something else. This will impact, and now I'm saying this is really going to screw me perhaps. This will impact whatever you drink next. So I might have to do a really good rinse and maybe um, really do something drastic, try and change this from impacting other things. But I know which one we'll go into next. But yeah, you got a lot of barrel impact in there. So there you go. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a comment down below. I'll get to you. If you leave a comment, I'll be sure to answer it. And like I said, it's been 4 months, and I just ordered 6 whiskeys, I think. And those should be showing up here in a day or two. So I'll have more whiskey that I'll need to be doing reviews of, but that's kind of the last. This is everything that I've bought in the last 4 months. So really slowing down on my buying of whiskey, and so the reviews are going to be going down, but maybe some of the comparisons, some of the thoughts, and maybe some of the guides. I'll start transitioning that stuff when I find some time. So There you go. As always, thanks for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day. And hopefully this wasn't terrible, even though there was a lot of talking in there. So the Bib and Tucker, what did I say it was? 49.59 here locally, so right around that $50 mark. Not a bad deal for a 6-year age stated product. And this is the only Bib and Tucker that I've ever had, so it's the only comparison that I have for that. But not a bad deal. You just have to be the kind of person that's into that oak, that char, a little bit of that bitter, acrid kind of notes to enjoy it. So, thanks for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day, and we'll catch you in the next video.